With the 32nd pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select N'Keal Harry, wide receiver.
Okay.
Arizona State.
Interesting pick.
Fans here in Nashville.
Okay.
Over 200,000
Hoping
people
for
attended tonight.
Marquise Brown, but he got taken like 25th, I believe. But really was hoping for DK Metcalf, and I'm surprised they took N'Keal Harry here at 32. I mean, he's a great player, don't get me wrong. And I got a little, I watched a little bit of him in Arizona State, but I don't know too much about him besides a couple highlights from previous. But I'm also very surprised that the Pats didn't trade up or out of 32. So them staying pat at 32 was kind of shocking to me. But nonetheless, I'm glad that they took a wide receiver or a tight end, but in this case they took a wide receiver, which was probably a top 2 need. So I'm glad they were able to address that. And moving forward into day 2 with rounds 2 and 3 tomorrow, I'm hoping that they can fill tight end, backup quarterback, linebacker, and defensive line, because they do have 5 picks tomorrow. So definitely going to be looking forward to that and other moves that the league makes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you're tuning in from, on whatever device you are listening on. My name is Jay Smoove, and you are listening to the Jay Smoove Patriots video podcast. This is episode number 14, and in this episode, I'm going to describe, explain, and give my thoughts on the Patriots selection at 32. Now, at the beginning of this video, I included my live draft reaction to Roger Goodell announcing the Patriots selection, and I think you could see from that video that I was kind of shocked, kind of not exactly who I wanted, but I'm not mad, I'm not upset with the pick. We needed a wide receiver, we got a wide receiver. Check that box. Was it the wide receiver I wanted? Not necessarily. However, I originally wanted DK Metcalf, and a lot of people had him pegged in the second round. This is about N'Keal Harry, wide receiver out of Arizona State, and like I mentioned, like I touched upon, he's a wide receiver, and going into the 32nd pick, I thought the Patriots should have took a wide receiver or a tight end. Now, the 2 tight ends that were highly sought after were both taken off the board, so that kind of leaves wide receiver. Now, Belichick can still draft a tight end in round 2 or 3, which I think he should do. However, we had a need at wide receiver or tight end, and Belichick got one of those needs in wide receiver, so I'm happy with that. N'Keal Harry, he can spread the field, he can play outside the numbers, which is good. He's got some size. I mean, we need someone that can spread the field, because without Gronkowski anymore, we don't have that deep threat in Josh Gordon for the time being. So N'Keal Harry can kind of do those things for us. He can take the top off of the defense, which is awesome, which is what we need. It opens up Julian Edelman routes, that opens up James White routes, that opens up whoever plays the tight end for us this year, ASJ. So I think N'Keal Harry's a good pick. Now, however, he does need to work on his route running. I mean, he's not perfect wide receiver. He's not Marquise Brown that the Ravens took at 25. But N'Keal Harry is good. He is serviceable. He's going to make an impact in year 1. But he does need to work on the little things in order to become that next level, to reach that next tier. And I think he can. He's just got to work with Tom Brady. And hopefully during these off-season programs, Tom Brady will work with N'Keal Harry and whoever else the Patriots draft on the offensive side of the ball. Like I mentioned before, I hope that the Patriots drafted DK Metcalf, but Harry is just as good, maybe even better. And I say that because N'Keal Harry is more of a complete wide receiver than DK Metcalf. Now, in my opinion, I thought Metcalf would go off the board in the first round. A lot of people had him pegged in the second round. I do want to touch upon is I was surprised that the Patriots didn't trade up. Now, Belichick's not known for trading up, however, a lot of good players were on the board, in the middle rounds, and if he wanted to, he easily could have traded up to get whoever he wanted. I mean, could he traded up to 19 to get Noah Fant before the Broncos took him at 20? Absolutely. Now he has the assets to do so. He had 7 picks in the first 101. You could have used your first rounder, a second, and whatever else it was going to take to get to 19 in order to take Fant, which would have been a bold move, but I think a move nonetheless that should have been made, or something like that. Maybe not exactly that move, but a move like that. I'm also surprised that the Patriots didn't trade out. Now, what first round selections offer that rounds 2 through 7 don't is that if a player is drafted in the first round, that player has a 5th year option on their contract. Now, when you're drafted and you're selected, you have a 4-year contract, whether it's round 1 through 7. If you're selected in the first round, you are given the option of a 5th year option added to your contract that the team makes a decision on at the end of year 3. A lot of people last year thought the Patriots were going to take Lamar Jackson at 31 because it would have gave them that 5th year op, and you could have had Lamar Jackson back up Tom Brady and then kind of groom him to be the successor when Tom Brady ultimately decides to retire. We didn't do that. We ended up taking Sony Michel. Now, I point out this 5th year option because when the Patriots drafted Jimmy Garoppolo, he was in the 2nd round, so he didn't have that 5th year option. That's why we had to trade him instead of keep him for another season. So that first round selection, having that 5th year option, is crucial, and it's sought after many teams, and I think Belichick noticed that. Therefore, having N'Keal Harry for essentially 5 seasons at a low value, where he thinks he's going to be a huge contributor to this offense, is something that he highly valued, and any compensation that he would have got didn't add up to what he valued pick 32 at. So I commend Belichick for sticking to his guns and taking a player at 32, taking N'Keal Harry, addressing a major need. Patriots re-signed Dorsett. They brought in Demaryius Thomas. However, this pick allows us to get younger, allows us to get quicker, faster, and that's something that the Patriots need because Julian Edelman's going to his age 33 season, I believe. Demaryius Thomas to his 32 season, and he's going into his 26, maybe 27 season. So having N'Keal Harry being so young, being that energizer bunny for that core is going to be crucial. He can pick the brains of Thomas and Edelman, and obviously he's going to learn from Tom Brady himself. So I love this pick. I'm glad we went wide receiver. And I also heard on the ESPN broadcast after the Patriots made this selection that this is the first round wide receiver that the Patriots has selected since 1996, where the Patriots drafted Terry Glenn at number 7 that year. So it's been a long time coming, and I think is well overdue, especially since Belichick has tried to draft wide receivers in the 2nd round, the 3rd round, the 4th round, and it hasn't panned out. It really hasn't. Malcolm Mitchell, Aaron Dobson, Brandon Tate. So I mean, we've had poor success drafting wide receivers in those early mid rounds. So seeing a wide receiver go at number 1 and someone who has a lot of potential is very heartwarming for sure. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about anything we talked about in this episode, please leave a comment down below. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this episode, please leave a comment down below as well. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content. Thank you for tuning in this episode, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.